So I was working down the wharf. I'm a refrigeration mechanic by trade, fixing shipping containers, and I was working with Jared Sharp. He worked there as well, and he bred a litter and just was seeing whether or not I was interested in buying one of the pups.
How long ago would this have been?
Oh, good 23 years ago, I'd say, or a bit more, maybe 25 years ago.
So you purchased the pup, and I take it that you just owned to start with?
We just owned it. And two other guys that went in it, one of the other guys that I work with and one of his mates, so the three of us. And he went on to win the Shepherd and Vic Breeders, and we just thought, how easy is this? You know what I mean? You win. I think he won his first three, and then he won a few after that. So we just thought, oh, this is really good, and we really got into it.
From there, when did you decide to pick up the collar and lead yourself?
It was just over time. I was living with Jess in Caroline Springs. We had a bitch called Casual Lyrics. She had won a few races, and she broke down, and she came and lived with us for a little while. We just looked after her while she was rehabilitating, and we were walking around locally, and she started feeling good, so she went back to Jeff Britton's to get trained again, and then she had a litter of pups, and we decided then that we were going to get into it a little bit heavier.
You would have had to start with plenty of, let's call them bread and butter dogs to start with. Do you remember the first real good one that came through your kenneling, if you've got something special for you?
Probably Cuda Mayhem was one of the first ones. There's another dog, Dodgy Dealer. We've had a lot of good country class dogs. It is really hard to get those group class quality dogs. So it's a lot of breeding's gone into it and a lot of hard work. So
you mentioned Cuda Mayhem. He probably gave you a first taste of that group class company. Of course, ran a placing in the Melbourne Cup. What was that like to experience the ride with him during his career?
Oh, it was unbelievable. Yeah, it was like a dream. We were lucky. Sandown did a video of us on the night, and we sometimes go back and watch it, and you still pinch yourself about the night. It was unbelievable.
Now, your current kennel star Morton, and of course his brother Stormy Day, who recently won the Harrison Dawson. There's quite a good backstory to them. Just talk us through getting them at an early age and the involvement of their owner.
So we've had Daryl as an owner. He's been with us maybe 8 or 9 years. He just rang me up and said, I've bought a pup. Can you rear it? And I said, yep, no worries. And then I think he went to pick the pups out, and he actually picked up 2. So he bought them. They were only very cheap, so it was surprising. They were only $1,500 each, and he brought them down, and we did a deal, and we reared them for him, and so that's how the partnership has grown. We reared them for nothing and looked after him like that, and we half own the pups now as well. So Daryl, he's the best owner. He's always happy, and even the other week when we had 3 in the final, he really thought Afire was going to win the final, and he just said, I just hope whatever happens, I hope Team Sharp wins the race.
Now, the time comes for them to get broken in. What were the break-in reports on the tour?
Well, we broke them in. I wouldn't say they broke the house down. We broke them both in at Geelong. I think Morton's last trial was like 1830, which is just actually pretty poor, actually. And I think Stormy Day broke in 1790. So I wouldn't say they were above average. They were just average or even below average. And Stormy Day, he did a metacarpal, and we had to put him out after his break-in. He spent about 3 months on the sidelines, and then Morton, we started trialing him after a while, and he just kept on improving every week. And then one week he just went bang. And I knew we had something then.
Do you remember giving Daryl a call and saying, I think we've got something special here?
Yeah, I do. And Jess was going, no, keep it on the down low. Just, don't get too excited. And I said, I don't know, I think we've got one here. So I was really happy.
He made a pretty big impression pretty much straight away when he started out. And he was the subject of some pretty sizable offers, but you guys were never tempted to sell?
Never, ever. There's no way. You don't go through 20 years of hard work to get a dog like that and then sell it. You just can't. you've got to enjoy that ride. And that's what Daryl said as well. He didn't care after 5 starts what the dog did. He'd already had a ride, and he wanted to keep enjoying the ride.
Now, as we mentioned before, you guys have had your fair share of success in the industry, but you were searching for that elusive Route 1 victory, and Morton finally delivered when he took out the Gold Bullion up at Albion Park. Just talk us through that series and the preparation for it and the night itself.
So we flew up on the day. The favourite was Scratch, which probably helped us a lot. Made it a lot easier. It's still like you still pinch yourself to whether or not it really happened. It was unbelievable. Even how the race finished, you still think whether or not you got the photo or it was crazy day. I'll never forget the day.
Now fast forward a couple of months, we've got your Group 1 under your belt, and yourself and Jess decide to take off overseas to Paris on a well-earned vacation, and you left the responsibilities at home to Dylan, and you managed to get through to the final of the Harrison Dawson. What was that like to be overseas and seeing him achieve that?
Oh, it was great for Dylan, but you can't just. We've got a lot of several staff, and I've got my race. My not manager. He's my assistant manager. He helps a lot with Jai. He helped a lot with the whole thing, and the whole team did a great job while we were away. You can't expect much more than that.
Now, you were explaining as well on the night that they were in the heats. You were actually in Paris listening to it in a palace. Yeah,
in Versailles Palace. We were in Versailles, and we were having a tour around there, so it was really good. I celebrated in there. It was great.
Now, you flew back in the day of the final, and it was straight to Sandown Park. You had 3 dogs in there. There was Afire, Morton and Stormy Day. And speaking to Dylan on the way to the boxes, when I asked him about Stormy Day, he said, "No chance."
Oh, yeah. You can't blame him for saying that. I suppose he's looked at what everyone else is saying, and obviously the 1 and 2 probably should have won the race, but it just didn't happen. It's a greyhound race, and things happen in greyhound races. You just can't control that.
You said that Stormy Day broke in quicker than Morton and then had his share of injuries, but he's obviously always been a fast dog too.
Yeah, he's got a knack of jumping and running, and he can split really well, and that's what he did on the night, and he got the chocolates, so he did a good job.
So 2 Group 1s. What was that second one like? How did it compare to the first?
The second one was good as well, because obviously the first one was Jessica and the second one was mine, so I know it's a team effort, but it's good to always get one in your own name. You still pinch yourself. Even that night I couldn't really sleep. I kept on waking up and thinking whether or not it was just a whirlwind the whole night.
Now the 2 boys are eligible for the Flying Amy Classics, and they head up to Albion Park for the heats on Thursday night.
Yep.
How exciting is it to be going back up to the Sunshine State after the recent success you've had up there?
Oh, great. We love it up there. We want to keep travelling up there. They're so nice up there, and they do a great job with all their races up there.
Now Morton, of course, also won the Queensland Derby in the lead up to the Gold Bullion series. I guess in a lot of ways the Flying Amy's become the lead up to the Brisbane Cup in the middle of the year as well, and both of them are right on the cusp of being eligible for it, so they hold pretty strong in their favour that they're going into it as some of the more also going up.
Yeah, they are. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of good dogs up there for the race. I've been having a look. There's several Victorian dogs going up there, so it's going to be a hot series, I'd say.
And now Afire is also going up for a look ahead of the Brisbane Cup as well.
Yep.
Talk us through his career, because he's in a purple patch at the moment, ran 4 for the Harrison Dawson, but prior to that, they had put together 5 in a row.
Yeah, so roughly about 6 months ago, he had a cracked hock. We took him to Sandown. We had to get a screw put in it, so he had a bit of time off, and it healed really well. And Alistair said, look, we can leave it in, so we left it in, and we brought him back. He was trialling really good, but then the screw actually came loose, so we had to take it out and wait for it to heal again where the hole was. So He really had a long time off, but he was trialling really good, and he was coming up for his 6-month trial. So we just put him in a race, and he didn't look back from there. So he's come back even better than he was beforehand, I think.
Quite a strong team that you're taking up to Brisbane for the carnival. Is there a pick of them, or you think that they're all capable of mixing it?
I think they all can do it on their night. They're all really good dogs. They're the best dogs we've had, so let's hope they all show their best form up there.
And looking back on where you started out 20 years ago, now thinking that you're on the road travelling with 3 of the best dogs in Victoria and heading up to try and pursue Group 1 glory up in another state, you must just get there and pinch yourself.
Yeah, it is. It's a long ride, but it's been worth it. I think a lot of people have enjoyed the ride for us, and yeah, we just love it. We just love the industry, and we hope it goes on forever.